Hello everyone, welcome to AI Anytime channel. So in this video, we are going to build a food recipe generator app. So the application will generate food recipes based on the video files. So we'll take YouTube videos as an input source, and based on that input video from YouTube, the OpenAI GPT-3 model will help us to generate the food recipes. Okay, so we are going to use couple of models here. So we will use one ASR model, which is an acronym for automatic speech recognition. The model that we are going to use for ASR is Whisper. Again, that was launched by OpenAI, and the other model that we are going to use is a large language model. We are going to use GPT-3 here to do the prompt and get the food recipe from the video files. So the flow will be from video to audio to transcript, and then we'll perform the prompt on that transcript to generate the food recipe. So we are going to simplify the food recipe, right? So sometimes you have this video, this large videos which are like more than 20-30 minutes. You have to listen to the entire video, and it's better to have some kind of summarization or to give you a holistic view, okay, of about the overall food recipes. Okay, so we are going to do the prompt. In that prompt we'll have ingredients separately, then we'll have all the required steps which is there in that food recipe. So this is what we are going to do today, and we are here on this playground. Okay, if you see on OpenAI playground, I will use OpenAI GPT-3 API, okay, because I haven't got the access for GPT-4 till yet. And then we'll also use the open source model Whisper. You can also use Whisper API if you want to use it. If your data is not that confidential, we were doing it for some hobby purposes, you can still use Whisper API by OpenAI. Okay, so I'm going to use this ASR model, which is state of the art. Okay, one of the best model out there for automatic speech recognition. It's extremely powerful when it comes to perform speech to text. Also supports multiple languages. There are some workaround. You can also do speaker diarization. So if there are multiple speakers in your audio calls, okay, you can also do that. So what we will do, we'll use this video, or you can take any other video as well. I have selected this video which says 1 pot creamy garlic mushroom chicken pasta. Okay, so this is the video that I'm going to use. So now the question arises that how will we extract the audio from this video, because Whisper works on an audio file to perform this transcription, and that's where we are going to use something called Pytube. So we are going to work with the Pytube library, okay, which is available in Python, and then we'll take the video as a source. We'll first get the audio, and then we'll pass this audio to OpenAI model, Whisper model, sorry. So just to give you some overview about Whisper, Whisper is a neural network, has been trained on more than 600,000 hours of audio call. Most of them, I think, are English language, and you can see it perform multilingual speech recognition. As I said earlier, that it supports multiple languages. It also helps you with speech translations, language identification, speaker diarization, etc. Okay, so you can see it over here, voice activity detection as well. So it's a transform model, it's a sequence to sequence model, and they have different models available of having different sizes. So you can see the tiniest one is a tiny model having the parameters around 39 M parameters, and this is how you load the English model. And the multilingual model, it automatically detects the language and then gives you the transcription. We are just going ahead with the English model for this tutorial video, and you can also have a look at some of the metrics over here. And yes, they also have a very neat and clean documentation. Whisper is extremely powerful. If you are dealing with automatic speech recognition, there have been a lot of other models, like there were Celero VAD, there were Vosk. There are a lot of other offline models available, right, that you can utilize it, but Whisper works out of the box and very powerful. So we are going to create this application in Streamlit. Okay, we'll use Streamlit. If you haven't used Streamlit, you can use this. Over here it says a faster way to build and share data applications. This is what we are going to do in this video. We are going to use Streamlit framework to build the application, and we will integrate these models in that Streamlit UI. That how we can make this inference. So I have created a virtual environment in Anaconda prompt. I'm using Anaconda. You can use whatever you want to use. You can use this a standalone virtual environment. You can spin up, create a VNB, activate it, and install all the dependencies. You can use Anaconda prompt. You can also use other IDEs as well. So currently you see I am on this VS Code repository recipe gen, and these are the requirements. As I said, we are going to use OpenAI GPT-3 API. Okay, you can use that. You can also use GPT 3.5 Turbo, for example, if you want to use that. It's also affordable when you compare the API prices per tokens. And then we have python.env. That's how we load the env file. And then we have OpenAI Whisper to work with the Whisper library. And then we'll use Streamlit to build the web app, and we have Pytube to work with the video file. So it will help us do all the video operations on YouTube video. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to create an app.py. I'll just do app.py, and here I will start writing the code for. So the first thing I have to do, I have to say import Streamlit as st, because we are going to import Streamlit. By the way, I already have installed all the dependencies. If you want to install the dependencies, what you have to do, we have to do pip install -r requirements txt. So just do requirements.txt, and it will install all the dependencies for you. Yes, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, Whisper is little, I'll not say, it's little tricky to install on Windows machine. It requires FFmpeg. It also requires something called Numba, which don't support Python 3.11 or even Python 3.10 in some cases. You might have to downgrade your Python versions if you are following this tutorial and if you are facing any issues. So import Streamlit as st. Sorry, this is my first one. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to import all these dependencies. The first is from Pytube, which is to work with the YouTube videos. From Pytube import YouTube. Yeah, this is we are going to use this YouTube class. You can see it over here. It says class YouTube. Very neat and clean documentation as well in VS Code. And then we have to also import some of the utilities. One of that will be pathlib. So pathlib from pathlib import path. That's done. From pathlib import path. Now the next is import shutil. I'll say shutil, and then import Whisper. We also need OS to deal with the file processing thing. So import OS, and then we need python.env. So, and we also need OpenAI. So import OpenAI. Import OpenAI, and then from .env import load_.env. So this is what I'm going to do. Yes, so from .env import load.env. These are all the dependencies that I needed for this video and for this application. So the first thing that I will do, guys, I'll first load the .env. So load.env, the method, and then I already have this env file where I have stored my OpenAI GPT-3 API keys. If you don't know where you'll find this API key, you can see that this is the OpenAI playground, and these are the dashboard. Basically, you can see platform.openai.com/playground. You can come over here, you can go and you can see the view API keys. Inside view API keys, you will find all your API keys. If you have already created a few of them, you will be able to see all the listed API keys there. If you haven't use this platform before this video, you have to create an API key to work with this video. So I already have done it. So I'll just say OpenAI.API_key, and here I'll just load it from this env file, and that's I'm going to use os.getEnv, and then I'll just define whatever the name that you have stored here in this env file. Okay, so I have loaded the API key successfully. Now what I'm going to do next is let's import the Whisper model. So how we're going to import the Whisper model is def load model. So here I'm going to do the load model, and in load model the next thing is I need that Whisper that I have imported. It says import Whisper. I will use that import Whisper module, and then I will load the model. So it has 5 different types of model. I am going with the base model, so I'll just use base model. It doesn't take much time. Otherwise, if you are on if you are on a powerful GPU system, you can use the large model or the medium model as well. For this video, I'm just using base model, and then I'll just return the model. So this is what I'm going to do. And one thing to understand, that we are going to work with an Streamlit application. Streamlit provide you couple of very powerful decorators basically that will handle you to load this model and keep it in your cache. So every time you are performing this task or activities based on that model in the runtime, you do not have to load the model every time. So they Streamlit provides something called cache resources and cache data. If I do cache, you can see it over here in the newest version of Streamlit. Earlier it was only cache. Now it provides cache data and cache resources. So I'm just going to use cache resource for model. If you are loading a CSV file, or if you're performing those sort of operations, you can also use the decorator of cache underscore data. Okay. So now every time if I am performing an operation in the same runtime, it will not load the model again and again. This is why I'm using this decorator. Now I have loaded the model successfully. Now what next I have to do, guys? The next is to use this Pytube library and this YouTube class basically to get the YouTube video, and also to extract the audio from it. So the first thing is I'll use the save video. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to say def save video, and here I'll pass the URL. It will only take URL, and what I can also pass video underscore file name. So I'm just doing video underscore file name, save video, and let's create variable YouTube object, and I'm just going to use this YouTube class that I have imported over here, and in this YouTube I'll just pass the URL. Okay, it will store, this variable stores that YouTube object. And now the next again is, let's use the same, YouTube object dot save, not save video. I need the highest resolution stream. So I'll just say streams, YouTube object dot streams. I'm going to use this streams module, streams, and then get highest resolution. You can see it over here, right? Get highest resolution. I need the highest resolution, and I will just do try cache now. If the video is available, just download the video for me. Pretty much self-explanatory. So YouTube object dot download. I'm just going to use the download method in Pytube. This download, and if I'm getting an error, any kind of exception, just accept and say print an error occurred or something. Okay, an error occurred while downloading, simple thing. And otherwise I'll just do, of course, the print the video download is completed successfully or something. So this will download the video, and then just return that video file name. Okay, so this is for saving the video, guys. This will save the video in this directory, and the reason I'm saving this video, I would have already downloaded, or I would have also downloaded this audio only, but I don't want to download the audio because I want to show the video in the UI. Okay, so it provides that user experience to the end user. That's why I'm using this save video function. Now what I will do, I'll also write the save audio. So in save audio, I'll only download the audio file directly from that YouTube URL. Okay, I'm not going to use this downloaded video to extract the audio, because Pytube provide this out of the box. You have an URL, you can only do underscore audio. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So in this case, I'm just going to say define save audio. This is going to be my function. I'll just pass the URL over here, and I will say, hey, okay, let's create a variable YT, and then pass this again the same class. YouTube URL, and this time I'm just going to do Pytube.stream, and it has a filter method. So I'm just going to use this filter method. In this filter method, I'll just only audio, and I'll just do true. I just only need the audio from it and the first. Okay, this is what I'm doing here. So this is what I'm talking about, that from directly from this URL I can get this audio file. Okay, and just let this output file, we will also store this. So we'll store this with the same file name and all, and we have to look at the extension as well. So video.download, okay, excuse me, sorry, video.download output file, and then have base and extension. So base extension, what we are going to do now, let's please take this is correct, but it will be out file, not video file name. Okay, this is out file, this is done. Now file underscore name, and then base plus, this is correct, but this should let's call it, let's define it specifically, we need the mp3. So base plus dot mp3, and then we can do again the try except here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to do try. In this try os dot rename the file name, this is correct, try os dot rename output file and file name. Now let's do in except if we get any Windows error. So Windows error, it's not a method, except Windows error, os dot remove that file name. Okay, os dot remove file name, os dot rename out file dot file. Yes, this is correct, out file and file name. So try and accept, and let's do audio file name equals path, and in this path we are going to do file name dot split. Let's do not use split, let's use stem, and then this should stem plus dot stem plus mp3 audio underscore file name, a path file name plus stem plus mp3. Okay, now the video file name. So video file name, it will not be the same, so we have to save this. So I'm going to use save video. So save video URL, this is right, but this video file name should not be as it is. So URL, and then we can use the path method. So path, and then file name, path file name dot stem, and then here we do the mp4 to save it to mp4, and this should save. So we have audio file name and video file name. We'll just print it in terminal to see if you are getting any error. This will help. So print yt.title, because yt is our variable name over here. We have this title of the video plus has been successfully or something, downloaded or something. Okay, downloaded. So this is done. Print. Now let's return all of this. So yt.title, that's the first thing we should return. yt.title, and then audio file name and video file name. This is the return. So now we have written both the functions. One is for saving the video, and the other is the saving the audio. We already have loaded the model. The function has been written over here for load model. Now what I will do next is that we have to write the next function, which is for transcription. So I'll say audio to transcribe or transcription something. So let's call it transcription, audio to transcription, and here I will pass the audio file. Okay, this is what I'm passing over here as a parameter, define audio to transcription, and then we have already the model. I'll use the load model function that we have written over here, and in this, and then we'll pass this audio file, and we'll store it in a result variable. So in this result variable, what we are going to do, we're going to use model.transcribe. So I'm just going to use this method model.transcribe, and then I will pass this audio file. This method has been taken by Whisper. Okay, so if we have to transcribe, we have to use this method model.transcribe, and then what I will do, I'll just do the transcript. Okay, and in transcript I only need the text part of the result. This might provide some of the extra detail or some kind of metadata about that transcript that we have start or end, that I don't need it. Okay, because it's a transform model, you might see some extra information like start, end, and all those, because it's again being based on tokenizers. So transcript result text, and then I'll just do return and then transcript. So this will help us get the transcription audio to transcription function that we are using, passing this audio file, and we are getting the transcript. Now once we have transcript, we'll write the code for text to recipe. So we'll use GPT-3 here. So I'm just saying define the function text to recipe. In this we'll use our text input text, and now we will write the standard function. So this is how you see. So response, and in response the first we'll use the OpenAI.completion engine. So OpenAI. It's a capital by the way. So completion dot create. This is what we are going to use, and in this create we will define all our that we have the value pair. So model, and then the model that we are going to use is text DaVinci 3. We are going to use DaVinci 3 here. So DaVinci 3003 model. It has different, OpenAI has different set of models as well. GPT-3 has a different set of models. It has ADA, it has Babbage, it has Curie, it has DaVinci 3. There are different models. So it's based, I think it's based on Instruct GPT. Works very well for multiple set of NLP tasks. Now we also have GPT-4 released, which I don't have the access yet, but the day I have the access I will create a video on that as well. So model DaVinci 3, and now we are going to do the prompt. So our prompt will be that we are going to do is in that we will write what we are going to do in the prompt. Okay, so let's have a very simple prompt. Write the food recipe. Okay, write the food recipe from the below text, and the text will come from that above audio to transcription that we are getting this transcript. We'll pass this transcript, and then we'll just do a text over here. So I'll just do text. We have this, excuse me, text. Then we have temperature, and this temperature can be, let's keep it very standard. It is to control the creativeness and randomness of this DaVinci 3 model that we are using. So temperature, then we have max tokens. Let's keep the max tokens as something around 600 max tokens. Then we have top P. So top P equals 1. Let's keep it 1. And then we have penalties. So frequency, we have frequency penalty, and the frequency penalty, let's keep it 0. And then we have presence penalty. So let's keep it presence penalty, presence underscore penalty, and that's 0 as well. And then I'll just do return. Okay, here I missed that comma by the way. And then here what I will do, I'm just going to return that return response, and then it provides choices, and the first one, so I'm just going to call 0, and only the text, so I'm just going to call it text. This is what I'm going to, excuse me, this will be inside a list text. And yes, so this is what we are doing in this function. So in this function what we are doing, guys, that we have this model, prompt, temperature, max tokens, top P, and frequency penalties, and presence penalty. So the last function that we are going to write, okay, we do not need any function because this was the last function, text to recipe. So we have written 1, 2, 3, 4, total of 5 functions. The first function is to load the model. What this function will do is to load the model, the base model from OpenAI Whisper, which is an open source model to use for automatic speech recognition. Then we have save video, that will save the video in this local directory from YouTube. And then we'll have save audio. We'll also save the audio directly from this only audio equals to true. We're passing this audio to this transcription function where we are going to use the base model. And then we have text to recipe, where we have this OpenAI.completion.create engine to perform this prompt and generate the recipe based on your text that you have, the input text. So you have a background noise, there have been thunderstorms, okay, in my city. And now what we will do, we'll write the code for the Streamlit application. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, okay, if you're not familiar with Streamlit, Streamlit by default provides the container fluid view. Okay, it's a very compressed view in the center of the page. I need the full layout, so I'm going to do something called set page config. When you are writing a Streamlit application, if you want to use the full layout, the full width of the layout, you have to first define this function over here, or the method set underscore page underscore config, and that what I will do, I'll use layout equals wide. In this layout equals to wide, and now what I will do, I'll use this now this will be able to use the width of this entire UI that we are going to have. Set page config. Now the next thing is st.subheader. Let's use some subheader, and in this we can call it food recipe or something, right? Food recipe generator app, you know, from cooking videos, okay, something like that, okay, cooking videos. And the next thing is we need an input, so we need an URL input. So this is what I'm going to do. So URL, we'll have a text input, and say enter YouTube URL. So enter YouTube URL of the cooking video. Now let's see. Let's run this now. So how do we run a Streamlit application, guys? We do Streamlit run app.py. So you can see it over here that we have this enter YouTube URL option, where we can enter the YouTube URL. Now you can see a subheader, you can see this input box. Now let's do one thing, let's have a button. So what we'll do, we'll first see if this is not none. So if URL is not none, and then we'll have a Streamlit button. So I'm just going to do st.button, and here I will pass this button inside this function, this URL one within this button method, and this name will be let's call this button as a magic or something, okay, or let's call it generate. So I'll do generate, and now here I will write the code to use all the function that we have written above, right? So the first thing, or let's do one thing, you can see this full layout that we are using, like full width of the layout. We'll divide this in 3 different columns. So the good thing about Streamlit is, like, you can define this layout. If you have worked with HTML or the web elements, you have this option of columns and rows, where you divide those rows or columns, right? So you can also do it with Streamlit. So we'll do that by defining column 1, column 2, column 3, and then we'll call it st.columns. This is what we are going to use, and you can also do it like this, or you can, if you keep this st.columns, by default it will be equally divided. But if you want to give more weightage to the first column, you can also do that. That's how you handle it, okay? So if you want to give 2 weightage to it, you can also do that, but I will equally divide. So column 1, column 2, and now this is how we enter inside a column. So with column 1, whatever I want to do in the column 1, my code will go here. So with column 1, and then I have an info, so st.info, it's a status message. This is how so you have st.write. This is like a print statement we in a Python, but I will prefer this status messages method that Streamlit provides. It has info, it has warning, it has success, and it has error as well. So I'm just going to use st.info in this case, and I will say video, uploaded successfully or something. Okay, so video uploaded successfully. And now what I will do, I have st.info, so I will just do video. I need to show the video. I want to show the video, which video we are using, to get this. So video title, because we'll use this function, by the way, guys. So if I go above, you will see title, audio file name, and video file name. I'm going to use this function. So video underscore title, and then audio underscore file name. These are my variables which I'm defining here, audio underscore file name, and then video underscore file name as well. So this is what I will returned in the above function. So this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use that save audio, and I'll URL, this URL variable will passed here. Okay, so URL video title, and let's show the video st.video, and I'll just say video file name. So video file name. Let's see if you're able to get any response for this, guys. So let's run this. It's Streamlit is already running it over here in this terminal. I will come back and I will click on this rerun. Once you click on this rerun, you'll see a generate button appears now. But what I will do, I will click on this URL, this video we are going to take, and I will just paste it over here in this input box, and I will hit the generate button and see if I am able to get the desired response, or are we getting any error. So you can see it's running. It says running. The info message appears. Video uploaded successfully. So what it will do now, guys? It will use the Pytube library. Okay, it will fetch the videos and audios, and the video will be shown over here. And you can see that we have got our video over
super handy just because it saves time and makes easier cleanup at the end. Obviously, I have quite a few
in our box grater to create a paste, which is otherwise known as
you can
mince.
see I have
If
did a
you didn't
full
know,
screen as
garlic
well.
paste
We
is
have the
stronger
video
than
is
sliced garlic, as
running
the
now,
allicin compound,
and the
which will
video
give
appears on
garlic
the UI as well. So the first column has been completed. We have got the result for the first column, guys. So now we have this video. Okay, how we can use this automatic speech recognition ASR models like Whisper. We are using it over here. You can use any other ASR models like Celero VAD or Vosk or any other Kaldi based model you can also use. You have Assembly AI that provides API to perform this transcription. How will you use this video to perform the transcription task, to extract the transcription, and then you pass that transcription to this GPT-3 model to generate the food recipe? This is what we are going to do in this application now, because we already have written the function on top, and just we are going to use those functions now. So our column 1 task is done. Now what I will do, I'll just do with column 2, and in column 2 what I'm going to do, again we'll have our info message as same we have in the column 1, and he will say transcript is below or something. Transcript is below, and here I'm just going to use the transcript function. So let's also print to see if we get any error. We'll have audio file name. If you are not getting the transcription, we can track that in the terminal. I'm using Anaconda prompt, but you can also see it in your other terminal as well if you are using. So transcript result, let's call this variable transcript result, and then I'll just do audio to transcription function that we have written on top, and I will pass the audio file name that I have here. You can see this variable audio file name. So I'm just going to use audio file name. That's it. And what I will do now, I'll just do st.success. So the other status message that I'm using by Streamlit, st.success, which provides me that green background sort of thing. So on st.success, I'll just pass this transcript result variable. Let's see if we are able to get the transcription using Whisper, guys. Okay, so now what I will do, I will go back. I will again hit the generate button because my URL remains the same. Now once we hit the generate button, we'll get this video and also the transcription. Now let's see if we are getting these results. So you can see it it's running the again. Okay, it will again fetch this video. Okay, and so we are not handling any cache or those sort of stuffs with this video, because this video are being saved in the directory. If you want to extend this application further, that I will encourage you to do, but not with Streamlit. If you are following any other web technologies and microservices or stuff, you can also extend this further and make it even better to because if you can also see, you can store this in a database and check the next time if a same video is available. You do not have to download every time. Okay, you can store it somewhere in database and match it, and then only show the on the UI from that database. So You can see transcript is below. You can see it's still running. Okay, it's generating the transcript for you. It might take from few seconds to minute, depending on this size of the audio file and also the computational power of your machine. So Whisper requires GPU machine. If you have big files, it might take a lot of time. If you have 10-15 minutes of audio files, and if you do not have a GPU, it might take up to an hour to perform the transcription. But you can also use some workaround. There have been some other libraries like Faster Whisper, for example, which where they have quantized all these models. Okay, they have you can also use those for faster responses. Now, just to help you understand till this is being completed, what we have did. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me go back and connect with this. I would like to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me just do that. Okay, so you can see we have got the transcript now. You can see the transcription over here. Meanwhile, I'm setting up my tab. So you can see the transcription. We said transcript is below. Okay, transcript is below, and we have got the transcription which says one pot dishes are super handy just because it saves times. And you can see the accuracy. Okay, what kind of accuracy we are getting? This basically calls word error rate. That's called WER, word error rate, when you are evaluating a speech recognition model. And a word error rate of Whisper model is amazing when you compare it with other models. And you can see the words also. These are very seems very accurate. And if you come down, you can see a huge transcription over there, right? And you can completely see the last line if I read it for you. Delicious creamy garlic mushroom and chicken one pot wonder, allowing us to jump into the best part, which is that we can then dig it. And you can just hear this
flavors isn't broken down as much. As for one of my favorite ingredients, which is 200 grams of
to this video,
7.05
you can match it as well, line by line. Now we have the transcription as well. Now what we are going to do, guys, next is, okay, the next thing is to handle the column 3 now. So we have done our column 1 and column 2 task. Now we'll just the last task, which is of basically generating the prompt. So here we'll generate the prompt, generate the recipe, by the way, with help of the prompt that we have done in the above function. Now with column 3, again we'll have the same ht.info, and here we'll write the recipe is below or something. Okay, recipe is generated below. This is going to be, and here we'll just use that, right, recipe result. Let's call this variable as recipe result. In this recipe result, what we are going to do, we are going to use that function text to recipe, and we'll pass our transcript result that we have got in the above column with help of Whisper model. So in transcript, what I'm going to do, transcript result, and in transcript result we're just going to again use the success one and recipe result. Now let's see if we are getting this recipe result as well. Again I hit the generate button. What it will do, it will again go ahead and get this video transcription and then the this one food recipe. Meanwhile, I don't know what's really happening with it. I'm trying to connect with my tab so I can cast it. I can show you the workflow, that what are the things that we have used in this video. Okay, but I'm facing some internet connection issues, so I'll let that go. Okay, or maybe I think it's working now, so let me just bring it for you. So what we are doing here, guys, we have a video file and we are passing this to Pytube. We are using this Pytube, and in Pytube we are getting this audio, and we are passing this audio to something called Whisper, which is a transformer model. And we are getting the transcriptions. And once we have the transcription, we are passing it through GPT-3, and then we are getting the recipe. We are doing a very simple prompt. You can again tweak the prompt. So we are using LLM here. You can see we are using a large language models in GPT-3. We are using DaVinci 3, and we are also using an ASR model. So we are again using Whisper, and this both the models, guys, are being released by OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI has created this model in part. So this is the flow. Okay, we have a video to recipe. So this is what we are doing. Now let me go back to this Streamlit application. You can see recipe generated below. It's still working on this one, and now you can see we have got a very beautiful recipe, by the way, guys. I have said ingredients, so we are getting this ingredients. What are all the ingredients that we need to, you know, prepare this food from this video, basically, guys? So it says 750 grams. It also giving you the pound, basically, and 750 grams boneless and skinless chicken thighs, and then it's giving you onion powder, all those ingredients like mushrooms which are being used, you know, to prepare this food. And this looks fantastic. Okay, this basically minimizes your effort, you know, to understand. You will get a very concise manner, a very organized manner, that how you have to go ahead and prepare that food, right? You just get these ingredients, and then you can follow these instructions. So the first instruction is to place chicken thighs in a mixing bowl and add in the dried basil, dried thyme, onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper. Massage the chicken until everything is well coated. And then you have peel the onion, you know, slice in, then make thin slices, you know, and then dice into small even sized pieces. Then you have to, on the third point, you have to work with garlic cloves. Then you have to, in the fourth step, you have the mushroom coming in. You have to slice the mushrooms. Then in the sixth one, you have to go ahead and I think you have to use this pot over a high heat. So all those things come in now. Okay. Then you have to tweak the heat portion of it, medium, you know, and then oils and all those things coming in. You have this spices and all now. And wait for 4 minutes, and until the mushrooms are golden and soft. You know, then you have this mix through chicken stock and those creams and all, and in last you have this pasta and mix through, bring the sauce back. Now the reason we are, you know, not getting the full response, maybe we are using 600 tokens. You can increase the tokens and you can tweak it. You can see there were also 12, 13, 14 which will be given here, will be generated here by OpenAI. We have used this max tokens at 600. You can increase this to maybe, I don't know, maybe you can increase it to 800 or 1000, okay, to get the full response. But this looks fascinating. So see, you have this kind of unstructured data, right? You have this unstructured text. You have just a set of text. You don't know what to do with those text. Now you have some set of questions or questionnaires. You can use, you know, prompt engineering to pass those questionnaires. You can do a prompt. You can get your response. So if you see what we did in this video, guys, we have this food recipe generator app from cooking videos. So we took this video from YouTube, which says 1 pot creamy garlic mushroom chicken pasta. We have passed the URL, you know, to this app that we built using Streamlit, and then we are showing this video.
Swiss brown or cremini mushrooms, these can simply be thinly sliced.
And then we have the transcription that we have, you know, we have performed this speech to text using Whisper model, which is an open source transformer model. So we have used Whisper to get this transcription, and once we have the transcription, we passed it to GPT-3 DaVinci 3 model. Okay, so we have passed it to DaVinci 3 to get this food recipe, guys. You can also perform a lot of other analytics on top of this. You can also find out the categories, you know, categories of food, non-veg, veg, and all those things. This is just an idea for you. If you're really extending this further, maybe you can do the tagging as well. If this is a non-veg food item, food recipe, if this is a veg food recipe, and all those. You can also calculate a carbon footprint, you know, based out of all these values that we are getting, 750 grams of chicken. All those you can do it, guys. It's up to you. How do you want to take it forward? Maybe you can create, you can add this carbon footprint logic, and also the tagging of the types, veg or non-veg. If you are doing it, please let me know. I would like to see what you are doing with this application. If you have got any inspiration from this video, tutorial video, if you have done something very unique, please tag me there. You know, I would like to test it out as well. So this is what I have for this video, guys. If you like the video, you know, please like and share this video with your friend. Just for your information, the This will be this code will be available on the GitHub repository of AI anytime, that I will give in the description. If you have any thoughts or feedback, please drop in the comment box, and I'll do reply, and I'll reply to those comment as well. Please reach out to me if you have any thoughts or feedback for me. Please, if you haven't subscribed the channel, do subscribe it and share with your friends and peers. That's all for today videos, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.